and explained it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go into our last couple segments. Let's look at the upcoming weekend with these matchups. See if there's anything we see, and then if there was a couple other things we were thinking about the Bears or anything that we had to mention, or other teams of dominance like the Miami Dolphins, who are just the best team in football.
You see that that Tua's stats are the exact same as last year for the first 3 games.
That's insane. He's doing real well for me, and I got him 16th, QB 16, QB 17, QB 18, in that range.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's working out pretty well for you.
I wonder if anybody else in the league knows that he was doing Hapkido. Like this guy was doing various forms of jiu-jitsu so he could learn how to roll and to roll on the ground better. I don't know if any of you guys know this about him. But basically, he spent this offseason doing like UFC style wrestling, and Brazilian style wrestling, so he could get flipped and fall and learn how to fall better. I think it's gonna help him a little bit. The other thing, he's only gotten hit about 4 or 5 times. But that's a little scary for when he does. But his offensive line is insane. His coach is insane. His coach is
also
so insane.
Shout out Mike McDaniel.
Dude, he's so insane. He's gonna vape on the sidelines and destroy you. This guy is he's just fucking amazing. He's so good at running. He's so good at throwing. He's so good at doing things with purpose. So the thing about doing movement on the line is it's doing it with purpose. It's doing it so that maybe that misdirection opens up the next pass behind it, the follow through. They used to do this with the Packers all the time. You used to see some of these plays, these professional plays. Good offenses know what the fuck they're doing. That's why a quarterback like Jordan Love can train for 3 years behind a guy like Aaron Rodgers coming and look like he knows what the fuck he's doing. Dude, that was illuminating to hear about Justin Fields. They did not want to start him the first season at all.
Yep.
At all. They were mad at Nagy. They were furious at the way they used him and the way they deployed him and the way they put him at risk in his very first game. Shell shocked, almost got killed coming in for a destroyed Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. And these guys were setting up on the edge and the inside, just going up to destroy him. And it's like, hey, all you got to do is to move a couple guys. But the Bears hire brain dead coaches. Bruce, what are you looking at right now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at matchups and just thinking about. I mean, the Bears organization just, failed the team. Failed the city. And at the end of the day, failed Fields. I don't want to keep going on and on about the Bears, but it's just so frustrating. And when, one, is it ever going to change? And two, is Fields the future? But also one little tidbit I wanted to say about Mike McDaniel. Did you see that he was the ball boy for the Broncos? Yeah. And he didn't even get some interview or something with them. So he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna put up 70 points on you.
Dude, I love it, dude. That jilted lover.
Yep.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna make you want me.
Yeah.
I like Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniel.
Dude, he's awesome.
I keep putting an S on his name, but it's one S. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off with me versus Tommy. Social propaganda, taking on Swagyu beef. I'm supposed to put up 120. Tommy's putting up 123. What do you think? Tommy texted me this week. He said, James, I'm scared playing you this week. I looked at Tommy's team. I'm not nervous. I got a good team. I'm like, one of us going to win.
Yeah. This is going to be one of the matchups of the week for sure. At least that's what it looks like.
Hasn't there been a good matchup like this every week? There's been a good 120
Dude.
versus a 120 almost every week. There's been a couple good closer ones who are closer to the 99s or the 100s. There's been good matches in the league every week.
Or me and Tommy last week, dude. I still go like
Bruce would not. He was gonna come on a couple days ago, but it was heartbreaking. That
dude,
last point.
It was like I was holding on and some garbage touchdown to make it an extra point, and then that does it. And the worst part was I switched my kicker like a couple days before, and I'm like, watch, like this is gonna come back to bite me, and wouldn't you know it did.
Bruce, let's play the Tinker.
That's fantasy.
Bruce, let's play the Tinker for all these matchups. That we're gonna do a little segment called the Tinker. Not you guys have to follow, but we're gonna tinker with your guys' lineup. We're gonna give you our recommendation. If for what let's take a look at my lineup. Let's tinker with my lineup. And what's our one tinker move? We got Tua playing the first overall Buffalo. I'm not worried. But what I do see is a Brian Robinson playing a Philadelphia. But Brian Robinson, he who's been shot in the ass. He's been shot in the ass, and he looks like he's running quite fine.
The only tinker that I could see, I mean, I don't know how Algier has been doing recently. That would be the only tinker as far as putting like swapping him and Robinson, just because like
RB19 on the year. I mean, if I played him, he's RB19 on the year.
What are his carries the last two games?
So he had 15 carries. The last game was not good, but the first two games he had 30 carries. 31 carries in the first two games. Last game, 7 carries.
I can't remember what that game was.
But 2 catches. So.
Yeah, that would be the only tinker, because I mean that Eagles front is, I mean, pretty solid. Because I know they just played. My gosh, I'm just blanking on last week's matchups, but yeah, that would be the only tinker for sure.
Let's move on to Swagyu, Tommy's team. Tommy's team,
Dude,
he's got Adam Thielen, powerful on the bench. Kirk, the Jaguars D taking on Atlanta or Buccaneers taking on New Orleans. Justice Hill is not really an option yet, I think. Jahan Dotson, he's been too quiet.
For me, it's Thielen over Stevenson.
Really? Because that Dallas D is scaring you.
That Dallas D, I think they figured out. They're at home against the Patriots. I feel like it's going to be a low-scoring game. Stevenson's got to maybe go for, I don't know, 12
50.
for 50.
Yeah,
yep.
50,
and
no
then
touchdowns.
Maybe a few catches out of the backfield. I mean, you're looking at what?
7
maybe
or 8 points.
7.5. Yep.
Okay.
So Thielen could get, I mean, he could get 10 targets.
Against the 30th ranked Minnesota, that's going to be more of a shootout. I agree with you.
Dude, could you imagine?
Thielen over Stevenson.
Could you imagine if you're Tommy paying $52 and then not even going to start him, and then he like should win you the week?
That's why I was like, that's sometimes what the thing is like with these guys. Like, hey, if you're not going to use them when you get them, like, what's the point of getting them? Sometimes.
Yep. Right.
Sometimes, it's like, yeah, you want the depth, but like then, maybe you should have gone for something else. I don't know. It's something to think about. Next matchup, we got Union Pure Machines taking on the Big Alt Titties. All right, let's take a look at the Machines. Machines, Dak Prescott, Kenny Pickett as his quarter. I'm wondering if there's someone on the waiver wire who's better than Kenny Pickett, but
Jimmy G.
I mean, let's take a look at the waiver wire. I got it right here. Jimmy G is the top projected. He's taking on LA Chargers, which are, I'd be thinking that Jimmy G and being a streamer this week with Jack. I think that's maybe my one tinker, right?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that would be the only tinker.
I like that. I like that move. Let's move over to Big Old Titties. Let me find his
Going
lineup.
with Purdy.
He's finally starting Purdy, but dude, he's a madman that he's not.
He is.
He played Aaron Jones in his RP.
I know.
Well, this guy is sick.
Madness.
Guy is sick. He can't even at least put him in your running back position. Oh my God, it's a Thursday night player. That's such a rookie move, Doctor. Come on, wake up, brother.
Man.
Thursday night player in the flex position and an OP flex position, no
OP.
less. Your most useful position.
Yep.
And it's not like Matthew Stafford's taking on the New York Jets.
Yeah. Oh man.
Poor Teddy. Junior Pierre Machine's got a good matchup this week against him. My tinker. Let's tinker here. Kittle versus Arizona, I like. Thomas versus Tampa Bay,
I feel like it would be Michael Thomas over Kittle.
That's arguable. Yeah, that's debatable.
Because if you think about it, with Arizona, like they're going to be up at 10, they're not going to want to throw, and with the Saints and Bucks, like that should be a pretty competitive game, and I feel like Thomas could get some targets and outscore Kittle.
I'm gonna go with Kittle over here, and here's why. I think it's gonna be it's unofficial tight end day. When Zach Ertz goes against Kittle, it's unofficial tight end day. So I think we're gonna see a little Kittle special here. He might get 10, 12 points. But is that more than Thomas's 7 or 8? What's he been doing lately? Let's just double check. 8 points, 9 points. I think Kittle edges it out. That's my sandwich bet of the week with you.
Okay.
Boom. So what's the next matchup? That's Teddy's lineup tinkered with. Our next matchup is Best Physique of the Week versus Jamaican Shamans. Let's look at Best Physique of the Week. Russ Wilson starting. CJ Stroud, his brand new quarterback, taking on Pittsburgh. Not a great matchup. He's got TJ Watt coming at him. Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, nothing to change there. Honestly, I'm starting those three guys over Jerry Jeudy every week, even if I have Russell Wilson. What are you doing there with the Jerry Jeudy situation?
Yeah. Oh no, oh man. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably staying put, like, as far as like that lineup right now. The only thing that could possibly change would be the Saints, maybe. I don't know, but then I mean the Bucks offense isn't. The Saints defense has been pretty solid, I think, recently. So, but yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, looks pretty solid.
This one's hard to tinker with, as he doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, I like
three,
his three
three
starters.
guys on the bench.
Yeah. Not much we could tinker with here for physique. Maybe our tinkering, add some more fuckers.
Yeah. Somebody, anybody.
But hey, you know what? It's not. I'm sure the league ain't too bothered to have a couple more guys on the waiver wire. So appreciate the charity. Let's move over to Jamaican Shamans. The Shamans.
Their newly acquired Joshua Palmer.
Joshua Palmer starting Joey B, Daniel J. Joey B going against Tennessee, a tough matchup there, I think, for Joey B. I think the struggles may continue. Tennessee's a good defense, and plus it's at Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
I actually might be looking to play Matt Breida or Roshan, one of these two. I mean, Joe Burrow has the most he's put up was 8 points. Oh, he did put up 15 against Baltimore. Okay. Can he have that type of day at Tennessee? Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. He could have a 10, 12 point day there. Okay. But I still don't see a lot good for Joe Burrow. Joshua Palmer or Roshan Johnson or Matt Breida, I think he's got the right move here in Joshua Palmer. You play that guy, there's no Mike Williams in the way anymore.
Nope.
And it's Joshua Palmer type of week.
And with Breida too, like he doesn't play until Monday, and Saquon might be coming back. So if Saquon plays and Breida's in his flex, and he would be screwed. Like you would have to play Breida. Because definitely right now Palmer's the way to go.
I like that call. There's not much to tinker with here with the Shamans. I mean, he's got seemingly better options on this bench.
What do you think about the Bills'
choices? The Bills. What do you do there? They're playing Miami. I mean, they're a great defense. I think you eat the points. That's what you do. That's my tinker of the week. You hold on to the Bills. You don't do anything.
For sure. No, I'm saying, like, would you pick up another defense and put the Bills on the bench?
There's my tinker of the week. You drop the fuck out of KJ. Bruce, this is a great move here. Shamans, you drop KJ Osborne, and you go pick up one of these streaming defenses.
Yep.
Look at that. You got the Chargers, you got the Seahawks, you got the Vikings, you got the Colts, you got the Texans, you got the Rums, you got the Rummalama Ding Dongs. Hey, you got the Broncos versus Chicago. Come on.
Do it.
Broncos at home versus Chicago? What are you doing? Like, you have the best defense on the fucking league right there. The same one that got put up 70 on last week. That would take cojones. But still, I think you got better options than the Bills this week.
Yeah.
For the Shamans.
Yep.
So there's our tinker of the week there. Moving on to Sharp Fingers Danky Punch. Let's take a look at Sharp Fingers squad. Sharp Fingers, Jefferson, Jared Goff put up 11, just 3 points, 4 points under. But that's got to be pleasing to you. You kind of felt that was coming. I like that. Tank Dell, though, looking like the #1 receiver out in Houston. I know you have Nico, who I got to tell you, Bruce, Nico was my #1 wide receiver to get, and I was so sad I didn't, scoop him because I saw these numbers. But then all of a sudden I'm seeing this Tank Dell. Like, what's going on here?
I mean, I think he's. I mean, right now, like, unfortunately, with Monty on the bench, I mean, obviously, Monty might have been a better play along with Gibbs. I mean, I know that kind of limits the upside, but I think he did that for like the first 2 weeks. I want to say that he played both of them. And that might be just the playbook going forward because it feels like Monty is getting that goal line work almost like the Jamal Williams work.
Wow.
And Gibbs is Lions running backs, man.
I mean, here's the thing. I almost told Austin to go with Gibbs and put Montgomery in the flex, but I had high confidence in Tank Dell. So it's like how. And if you could play a top wide receiver, that's a little bit more better for that boom bust potential in that flex position anyway. So there's that thought process. But if Austin's going to tinker this week, I mean, it's Jordan Addison, but they're playing Carolina, apparently a vaunted defense. But you know what? They got a good cornerback, but they don't. But who's covering Jordan Addison?
Yep. Right.
This might be a Jordan Addison week.
Yeah. And it could be a Nico Collins week.
Bruce, my question to you was, would you have told Austin, suggested to start Montgomery? Or is that a hard recommendation, knowing the information?
I mean, coming into the game, like, it was supposed to be pretty close and low scoring. Which, I mean, Thursday nights have been. So, it was. I don't think I would have played him. I don't think I would have played Monty because, dude, that's how fantasy just sometimes works. Is like the news came out that he was expected to play. I think it was like early this morning or last night. And coming off an injury, you never know how that's going to go. Yep, you never know how that's going to go. You never know how many reps he's going to be on, or if he's going to be full go. So yeah, I wouldn't have played him either.
I think it's a good call, but it sucks because you got 33 points on the bench.
It sucks.
Let's go take a look at Team Danky Punch's team. Jalen Hurts taking on Washington. You like that matchup? Deshaun Watson taking on Baltimore. That's going to be a bit of a tough one, but Cleveland's defense is going to keep him in it. Jacoby Myers, George Pickens starting over Khalil Herbert and Terry McLaurin. I'd be thinking about Khalil Herbert this week.
Yeah, against Denver, for sure.
I would be thinking about Khalil Herbert. Terry McLaurin, I'd be thinking about playing him as well, but over George Pickens myself.
Yeah, so if anything, I would move like this would be just the one change, obviously. Moving Myers to the wide receiver 2 and then Herbert into the flex.
Here's the thing, though. Pickens has been the guy in Pittsburgh. He's definitely the wide receiver 1. So, I mean, are you taking the wide receiver 1 or are you taking the wide receiver 2 from Oakland instead of the wide receiver 1 from Pittsburgh?
Against the Chargers defense? Yes, please.
So it's against the Chargers defense. Yeah, exactly. You could feast.
Yep.
Houston with the DeMeco Ryans. I mean, he's no slouch.
I know. Nope. They beat the Jags.
And they might shut him down. They might shut Pickens down to force to look the other way. So that would be our little switch of the week. Maybe Scary Terry get in there for George Pickens or Khalil Herbert in there for the flex and move Jacoby Myers up to wide receiver 2. Get Pickens out. Laporta. Oh, that's a nice little pickup for him. And Romeo Doubs. Nice little pickups here. Great bench here for Danky Punch. Dobbs, Laporta, Elliott, Herbert, McLaurin.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff here. Like that. All right, I think we're moving into the last 2 matchups. Multiple Scoregasms versus the Goon Squad. Multiple Scoregasms are in trouble, but has picking up Devin Achane helped rewrite the ship? I mean, finally gets a running back in there who's got double digits, and he's got Tyjae Spears he's been getting, get this, he's got 60 or 50+ % of the snaps over in Tennessee, and all of a sudden it looks like Derrick Henry is sitting on 40+% snaps instead. It's not looking good.
Nope. Trevor's just got to play a lot better, and I think he will. But obviously I'll see it, or I'll believe it when I see it. But he should be playing a lot better than he is. But Hollywood Brown, man, like I think he's going to be a high wide receiver 3.
Against San Francisco, I'd be looking to sit him, and I might be playing Darren Waller versus Seattle this week.
New
York Giants at home.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going Darren Waller over Marquise Brown myself. Plus, he's got 3 questionable receivers. DK, Debo, and Marquise all questionable. But Marquise scares me because he's going against San Francisco.
Yeah, so it's either like, does it, just generally speaking, like, does it just, if you were to have him on your team, are you more scared of just the 49ers defense, or does the upside of them possibly being down and them needing to throw a lot more make you want to start him?
That's a great point, but Dobbs is a runner. Dobbs, their current quarterback, is typically more of a runner than a thrower, although Marquise is his number 1. He's his clear number 1. I mean, look, that's our great target numbers. He's got 2 touchdowns last 2 games. And still, look, Dallas.
The one change, Jets defense. I mean, you got to get him out of there.
Jets defense versus KC. I think there's 2 changes. You got. What about Baker Mayfield? Is it time to pick up a streaming quarterback, or do you hold on to Baker for the rest of the season? Does he have a good schedule? Let's see.
I'm picking up Jimmy G.
No, I mean, I don't. I think you let go of Baker because first off, look. He's playing. He's playing New Orleans this week, and then he's got a bye. Then he got Detroit, who's good defense, Atlanta, who's bad, Buffalo, who's good, Houston, who's got a good defense, Tennessee, who's got a solid defense, San Francisco's got the best defense, Indianapolis, who's got a good defense. Goodbye,
His
Baker.
Schedule is,
I think Elliott
his schedule is tough.
I think Elliott should be looking at a streaming quarterback this week. Too bad C.J. Stroud didn't fall to the waiver wire. Sneaky good pick there by Zeke. You know who might be who might be traded for Kyler Murray? Hello. Let's take a look
at that Kyler Hollywood stack.
Pardon? Yeah, that's true. That's true. He would get that. That actually would benefit him. That's a good point there, Brucey. All right, Goon Squad. Got Jordan Love with 17 points, looking pretty solid there. CMC, that's untouchable. Travis Etienne, you'll love to see it. Garrett Wilson, ? Calvin Ridley, ? Jerome Ford, more solid, ? Mac Jones, super ? Dolphins against Buffalo, question mark. Jake Elliott, lock. Christian Watson comes out in his first start, puts up 9.5. Pretty solid. Not really startable, though, you think, right?
No, yeah, especially coming off injury like you. I have him in another league, and I didn't start him either.
You know what I'd be thinking about?
No idea.
It's Zay Flowers this week. Zay Flowers and Tutu Atwell versus Garrett Wilson and Calvin Ridley. I like Jerome Ford as your flex. I have doubts about Calvin Ridley this week. Oh, no, you know what? Kansas City. Kansas City's a good defense, Bruce.
Yep.
They are a good defense. Was it
man,
them that shut down the Bears wide
tough.
receivers, or was it the Bears' minds?
Debatable.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, with those wide receivers, like I would not have confidence starting either one of them right now.
Garrett, Calvin, even Zay going against Cleveland, but I like Zay this week over one of those two.
You might have to play Tutu over Garrett Wilson. That's so bad to say, but
Tutu over Garrett is a good call there. I mean, the matchup makes a lot more sense. And then and honestly, here's why I'm saying Zay Flowers, even though he's taking on this supposedly first overall defense in Cleveland, the way that they use Zay Flowers, they use him in these weird little screen passes where he gets these passes behind the line and he can run, break off for 50 or 60. He's their best wide receiver. Something to consider there. But I like your move. Tutu maybe over, but Garrett's going to be in a shootout. But he's a bad quarterback.
But you got Zach Wilson,
who's a worse quarterback than Justin Fields.
I mean, it's like, it's bad.
It's bad,
dude. Aaron Rodgers going down was just so bad for one, the Jets, and two, for the NFL.
Tragic. So there's our tinker, Garrett Wilson for 2-2. Let's move on to the last matchup of the week. It's you. My name's Bruce. People have been trying to get you to change your name to Project Bruce. I don't know if you like it, but I mean, my name's Bruce. It's pretty fantastic. The Power Walkers. They wanted you to think about it. The Power Walkers and the Bruce. Man, you're taking on the best team in the league. You are up against it.
So, not.
Let's take a look at your team. You got a lot of tinkering.
I don't have. I think I gotta put some guys.
Is this like your good luck charm, dude? Bruce, can you explain this? What compels this? A little bit behind this.
So I mean, I get like doing it maybe for certain positions and putting guys in, but then there are some other positions where like it really could differ as far as who I start. In regards to Saquon, is he going to be healthy? He's practicing in a limited fashion.
Does he do the David Montgomery?
I know. Exactly. So I don't know if I'm going to play him. And with the wide receivers, I mean, I think Olave is probably going to be in there. But it's just, it's just kind of, I like to just have it. Sometimes I just like to set it like the last minute and go. So, but it might be a good luck charm. I don't know how it went last year, but after last week, I needed some reset. So yeah, obviously I'll be doing some tinkering.
So I'll try and figure out your starters here. Lamar, you're starting. You're starting Justin, who you're trading.
Just talk about the flex.
I'm starting Olave against Tampa Bay. He's your number one wide receiver, in my opinion. T. Higgins, there's your question mark.
So in the flex, I mean, you have possibilities of Andrews, Higgins, and Saquon.
And Collins.
Or even Nico. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
And Collins. Okay.
Like, who's the wide receiver too?
So are you convinced you're starting Mark Andrews this week?
No.
So he's your sit list for sure.
I mean,
I don't think you could play T. Higgins until Joe Burrow gets right.
And this is exactly why I don't have the lineup set, because like I honestly have no idea like what to do.
So your second wide receiver, you're thinking might be Nico Collins. So it's Olave, Collins. There's your two wide receivers. Your running backs, you got Pacheco, Swift. Boom. There's your locks. Now here, where's your flexes? And you're thinking it's either Higgins, it's Andrews,
Andrews, or Saquon.
Or Saquon. I think Saquon sits. I think it's got to be Andrews at that point, but
right? Like this is exactly my issue. Like that's, but it's tough. It really is. Especially like if
defense of
Saquon,
Cleveland is going to shut them down, and why? They have great corners. They have great corners. They got great linebackers. They got great linemen. Their whole fucking defense is good. They're not going to be scoring a lot of points there. It's going to be a 16-15 type game, maybe.
Oh yeah.
21-17, maybe there. But it's going to be a much less scoring game. So what should you sign up for the less? Mark Andrews, you want to stay away from.
I mean, if Saquon practices tomorrow, like limited, and then Saturday same thing, like I don't even know if I can play him.
You might have to play T. Higgins and just roll the dice that Joe Burrow's getting better.
Yep. So
there's Bruce's lineup. We'll move on to the power walkers of let's see what we could do with this guy. Mahomes, lock. Anthony Richardson seems to be starting. Seems to be out of concussion protocol. Mixon and Mostert. That looks. I'm playing Mostert. Mostert's the number one running back and the number one offense. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they're playing. You got McDaniel. They're scheming it. You got to play Mostert. Mixon's more the question mark. Do you play Najee versus Houston this week over Mixon?
I mean, that would be the only tinker, I think.
You're not playing DJ Moore.
No. I mean, there could be a couple of different things. I mean, Hawkinson against the Panthers.
It's Monday night.
I know. Yep.
Tyler Lockett on Monday night? That's like bread and butter.
I feel like it's going to be a Lockett game. I don't know. I get that feeling. Feel like he could go for 2 and like 90.
Well, you're taking TJ Hawkinson out. You're keeping Puka in for sure.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be Hawkinson for Lockett. Yeah, that'd be our tinker.
Yep. For sure.
Bruce, it's been a hell of a fucking podcast. I'm gonna have to cut this up into 2 pieces.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And make it edible for everybody, but it's always a blast to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Kick that like button. Subscribe for more Throwin Ropes Podcast. We're the Superflex Podcast here. We had a blast here with Bruce. Bruce, parting words for Week 4. Bruce.
What's up?
Parting words for Week 4.
Oh, maybe you can edit that.
I can, but I'll leave it in there.
Parting words. Let's go Bears. And
wait, say it again. I didn't hear that.
And I can't think of anything else.
I guess my thing would be like, watch out for trade values, guys. I think sometimes you guys got to watch out for trade values in trades. That's the number one thing. I love some of the trades in our leagues, and the one thing about the trades in our leagues, they've been really good. Like they've been pretty fair for everybody. Like I see Reddit and I see trades of other leagues, and there's so many leagues with unfair trades. But I gotta say, guys, we got some good commissioners, and not to mention we have good other stewards of the league who all know freaking football. We're a fucking league full of sharps. That's the thing. We're all a league full of sharps. Some of us are getting sharper, like Austin. He's getting sharper. He's joining. Is getting there, and others, we've existed here, and that's the thing. So watch your values and pay attention to that. But at the same time, I think everybody's got a pretty damn good beat on it.
Oh yeah, and go out hopefully I can start the trend of beating Jeff. Start that trend, because his team right now is obviously pretty good.
Knock him off his pedestal. Do
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Bruce. All right, Bruce. All right, everybody. UPBL week 3 in the books. We're coming at you with week 4.
Week 4.
I
Let's
mean,
do it.
Real quick though, Bruce. The last thing we're doing, the power rankings. Power Walkers first overall. I agree with that. Second best team, Sharp Fingers. Social Propaganda is in 3rd. Best Physique is in 4th. I agree with a lot of this so far. They're saying Swag You Beef is the 5th best team currently. This is where I think you could start making arguments. 7th best team, that's Union Tier Machines. 8th best team is Goon Squad. 9th best team is Big Ol' Titties. Hold on. 10th squad is you. My name's Bruce. You're currently ranked 10th. 11th is my Jamaican Shamans. And Multiple Scoriazo is 12th. I think Multiple Scoriazo is 12th. I think Jamaican Shamans, they're in a little bit of trouble with this Jonathan Taylor news.
Oh, for sure.
But they also have a decently solid lineup. I think that the drop-off it's not so steep. It's not so steep between 2nd, 3rd, 4th to 11th.
No.
But I am worried for the L-Man, this Multiple Scoriazo, and I really hope that Devin Achane can help rewrite that ship.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Tajay Spears getting more time. I mean, like, he's scored on these 2 running backs. So hopefully that pays dividends there for the L-Man. I'm
but
liking it.
I mean, 5 through 10. Yeah, I mean, you can. I think you can make arguments really for each team, and I think just the standings right now as they are. I think Zeke's bench is going to catch up with him. With bye weeks, injuries, etc.
He'll probably stream those weeks, I imagine. Right?
Yeah. But then obviously the quality that you have isn't as good, and then you're not scoring as many points, and etc. Five through 10, I think, is really going to be fun to watch as the season goes on, because there's going to be teams bouncing around everywhere, but I think the top 5 are going to stay the top 5.
Bruce, it's been a blast. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Go Bears, and watch out for those sneaky little pickups that you can get. And I hope that I got one in the Ravens running back that's coming off IR. So keeping my fingers crossed.
All right, everybody. Best of luck on week 4 UPBL podcast. Sign off. Yeah. All right, everybody. Woo. Punt it, toss it, and score big. We'll see you guys next time. Later. Bye-bye.